Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Kong Skull Island is a very cheaply made spin and move game for children. Now, before you turn this off, realize that there is a market for these type of games. If you have a younger gamer who's really into Kong and you want something where just spin and move, this is it. So this has some really good components. The gorilla that you have in the Kong that you have in it is fantastic. The standees all work really well. You have the planes going around. My son liked that quite a bit. The main problem I have with the game is that the 3D buildings is a big effect in the game. They're just there to wow the little kids' eyeballs. Go zooga, and it works. The problem is they're so cheaply made, it's very hard to take them apart, put them back together. Take them apart, you might want to glue them and kind of put them in the box the best that you can. It's just they're cheaply made, and it kind of takes away from it. So now, normally we'll play without the buildings, but does take some of the effect of the game away, because that was one of the cool things. That you had this 3D building with Kong on top, and Anne is on top of it. It looked really, really neat and was very attractive to young gamers. As for the game itself, it's a spin and move. It's 100% luck. There aren't a lot of decisions to be made in the game, but that's okay for younger gamers, like the 2 to 5 range, where they're picking up some of these mechanisms and kind of running with them. There is a place for spin and move. Don't turn your nose up on it. But for adults or anybody after a certain case, it isn't going to be a great game. Mostly just for Kong fans. Going to be a purge for us. Here is King Kong Skull Island game. This is going to be a mass market game. The box isn't that great. We kind of saw this out. A little bit disappointed by the components. You're going to have these standees. Mine got stickered sideways, not too great. The Kong is probably the best piece in here. This is like a rubber miniature, almost like a gorilla that you could play with. Everything else is going to be like these little cardboard things you're going to set up for bridges. It's kind of neat. That's a 3D game, and everything's going to look set up. You're going to have a spinner that spins actually fairly poorly. It is what it is. You're going to have the planes that will be standees. You're going to have 3D boards that will be popping up. Andaro. These are going to be the cars that you're going to have. These are very, very, very super cheap. Not very good components whatsoever. The components are huge mass market type stuff. Not very good. Here's the rules for King Kong, the 8th Wonder of the World, Skull Island. Single page, sepia and white, I guess. Very easy to digest. Should be up and playing. It's a very simple mass market game. Not hard to pick up and understand at all. So this game has a lot of these 3D buildings, but I gotta tell you, they're junk and very hard to put together. But if you have the patience and can put these little paper things or this cardboard thing, more power to you. If you do, you'll have a setup like this, and they refer you to the back of the box to kind of look and see how everything goes. So you have a boat here, which is really is just this with cardboard around it. And then you're gonna have a 3D board here with Faye on the top and Kong hanging off the side, and that's kind of what you have. It looks really cool when it's all set up. I got this up the first time I played it, but it's such a cheap construction, and I didn't want to break it because I'd rather have it set up. The kids can break it and play with it, but it's not going to last very long. It's just paper. So the game's a spin and move. You spin the spinner, and you'll move that number of spaces on the board. So this one says, sneak ahead 3 spaces, lose a turn. The T-Rex can attack. If you land on the Kong space, then you can attempt to capture Kong. And what you'll do is you'll take the cards and you'll flip one of these over. In this case, we got the V-Rex. If you get the V-Rex, then if you got here the Kong, you got to go back. You got to go back to the bridge. You would take this card and you would shuffle this deck back up. So you keep wanting to get to this Kong space, and you want to randomly just take a card from the deck. If you get an insect swarm, you're safe. You can stay there. This will come out, and there'll be less cards in the deck for the next person. So when you shuffle it up, there'll be only 5 cards to choose from. But keep in mind, there are a couple of insect swarms, so once you get those out, there's only a couple left in here. If you get the Anne card, the first part of the game will shut down. Everybody will go here to the boat. If you're the person that got Anne, you would come here. Anne will be put on top of there, Kong will be over there, and now you're on the theater side of the board. Then what you're doing is you're going to be moving around the board trying to land on one of the arrow spaces. It's a spin and move. You spin, you move counterclockwise. So you're going to move this way around the board in order to land on one of the arrow spaces. You can see them here. If you happen to move on a red space here, then you'll move one of the planes that many spaces. And what you're looking to do is block one of the arrows so people can't get on one of the arrow spaces. First person to land on an arrow space on this section of the board is your winner.
Who should buy this game? Little kids who are into Kong and might want to spin and move or have fun with a spin and move game, something with a lot of luck in it, that's going to move some people around, have some random draw of a card, and have some laughs and a good time, and they like Kong. Anybody else? I don't know if this is going to appeal to anybody else. Little kids, you're going to be a fan of Kong. That's it. Nilch. For us, it's going to be a Purge. My kids are just growing out of this kind of spin and move thing, and we'll just move on from that. So for me, nothing to seek out unless you have a huge fan of Kong in the family.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.